Okay, so it's currently 3 a.m. right now. I know my sleep schedule's bad. Look, I'm working on it, okay? I just did like an hour-long course on social media marketing, which is really interesting, and I learned a lot. I'm gonna spend like at least an hour, I think, a day on, you can see my trading posters in the back. I'm gonna dedicate like an hour a day into like learning more about social media marketing. Or I'm about to do a personality test. I was kind of researching and I was watching this guy and he was talking about how knowing what your personality is will help with like decision making in your business. And like, for example, if you're an if you're an introverted person, which I think I'm more introverted person. If you're more of an introverted person and you have a business, it might be a good idea to partner with an extroverted person to do more of the extroverted things. Not saying that you can't do it, but you're capitalizing off of that because they're just better at it than you are. And they're more natural at it, therefore they will probably be able to get more sales and profit compared if you were to do it. So I'm about to do that personality test because I'm curious about what I am and like how I can, and I want to analyze that and see how I can apply that to stuff I want to do in the future. I got this like chill Playboy Cardi playlist going on in the back. It's fire. It's fire, like background music for like working and stuff. Got work tomorrow, well, technically today, later today, for a while, so I won't be able to do much until tomorrow night. I'm gonna try to go to bed and see if I can, at the right time, and see if I can get a good night's sleep. I've been holding off these vlogs for the past, like, probably close to a week now, low-key. Because I want to have the perfect or the good sleep routine down before I actually make these vlogs. I want to wake up at 5, go to sleep at 9, and honestly, that's kind of hard for me right now. I've really been trying to go to sleep at 9 and, wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym by 6, get out by 8, and work throughout the rest of the day. But it's low-key been really, really hard. I don't know why. So I've been holding these vlogs off, waiting to get the right routine down, which is not really what I should be doing. I was like, you know what? Even though my sleep schedule is bad, I'm just gonna record, I'm just gonna vlog, and that'll be on the list of things that I improve on, that I can see progress that was made. My beard is like super, I know, it's bad. My hair, I'm actually getting it, I'll probably film that next week. Next week I'm getting my hair re-permed and I'm getting it cut short. It's gonna look way better. It's super overgrown and it's falling out, so my hair looks a lot thinner than it actually is. I'm gonna do a couple more things and then I'm about to go to bed in like 30 minutes. I'll probably wake up at like 9 or 10. I've got work at 12, so that gives me a couple hours to get ready and, head to work for the day. But I'm gonna end this right here. I'll update this later today. And yeah, see you then. All right, so it's a little while later. I'm actually about to head to work here soon, but I wanted to film a bit before I went in. And I wanted to kind of share something. I had a realization last night, and I didn't mention it earlier, mainly because I was pretty tired and I really just wanted to go to bed. I was getting ready for sleep. And I had a realization last night. The past few days, I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of thinking about the mindset that I have, the emotions I feel, the bad habits that I indulge in, the things of that nature. I've been trying to determine the sources of these, especially these emotions, and like if I have brief moments of like self-consciousness or self-doubt, I try to figure out where the source of it comes from. Why do I feel the way I do? Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? Why am I participating in this bad habit? Where all these things come from. And I think some of it is childhood stuff. I think some of it is kind of this built up consciousness, by comparing myself to other people. And I realized that you have to do one of two things. Well, you have to do for me, it's like if I'm trying to become the person that I want to be, right? The highest version of myself. Something that I have to do is I have to make these decisions. I have to look in, and I have to dive into and look deep and find the sources of these problems, of these bad habits, because if I'm ever to get to where I want to be, I have to know why I think the way I do. I have to understand why I feel certain emotions and why I indulge in bad habits. That way I can get rid of them. You have to kind of divide yourself into two halves, right? The person that you were and the person that you're trying to be and you're working towards, because they're two separate people. And in order to make that transition, you really have to, okay, this is who I was before. These are the habits that I indulge in. These are the things of the past, right? And a big part of that is if you have any like self-doubt or self-guilt, a lot of that is overcoming that and leaving that in the past, right? And then the other side is understanding who you're trying to become and using the realizations of that past mindset to fuel your journey as you're becoming this higher self. That was kind of the realization that I had last night, and a lot of the thinking that I was doing is that these things that I'm indulging in, these habits, these feelings, these emotions, these are things that the old version of myself would think. These are habits that the old version of myself would indulge in and they would participate in. The person that I'm trying to become, they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't think these things. They wouldn't feel like self-conscious. They wouldn't compare themselves to others. They wouldn't really feel self-doubt. They would be confident and they would be independent, and these are things that I was realizing last night. I've been thinking about it kind of all day, and I think it's one of those things that is just going to be consistent. I think something I'll be thinking about quite often as I'm going through this. These habits that I was participating in, they're things of a child. They're things of a teenager, of a person who I was. And if I'm ever able to become this higher version, this best version of myself, I need to get rid of these things. I need to be aware of these two halves, these two people, separate them, and get rid of the one I was. Sorry, I kind of just flipped you off. The one that I was before. I have to get rid of that. And that was something I was thinking a lot of last night. Again, I didn't mention it because I was low-key tired and really just getting ready for bed. I just wanted to share that, and I hope that kind of helps anyone that's having those same problems, and I hope people can relate to that. If there's anybody that's kind of going through the same thoughts right now, or they're in that process of the journey, they're feeling that, and they're understanding that those feelings are okay. When you have those thoughts, when you do that deep dive into yourself, it's gonna be hard. I mean, you're fighting yourself. Essentially, you're fighting yourself. You're fighting your own desires and your own. You're fighting your own desires and you're fighting your own self. Just wanted to share that. I am about to go to work, so I'll update this later. By the time you're watching this, I probably just released the first video. I'm telling you, this is the start. This is, you know, I want to do this daily, and I will be doing this daily. So I'll update this later. See you then.